here at the Barn Theatre in Welwyn Garden City, where we'll be exploring the stories about the ghosts that apparently haunt this theatre. Will we find those ghosts today? The Barn Theatre opened on the 5th of January 1932, but the barn itself dates back to the 17th century. 23 years ago, in this very foyer, a TV company visited just like us to explore the activities that have been said to be ghosts. There have been many different sightings of ghosts over the years. This may be because this building dates back to the 17th century.
I think what you've got to remember is that the barn hasn't always been a theatre. It has been a working dairy barn for a number of years. It has also been used by certain groups. It was requisitioned during the Second World War as a dump for ammunition. It was also used by religious groups when they first settled into the area. The barn was used as a meeting house for particular groups of Puritans who were settling in from Northern Europe. You can understand why perhaps one of them would be back from the grave haunting the building, because they don't like the idea of what was once their meeting house suddenly being used as a bar, and also being used as a bar where there is a theatre.
The Barn Theatre is renowned for its history, but there is some information missing from the history books, which are the ghosts that reside in here. Another chilling story lies here in the stage area. It was said in the 1960s a stagehand was putting up scenery for a play. As he was dismounting a ladder, he heard footsteps in his vicinity. Suddenly, all of the stage lights turned off and it descended into darkness. Shortly after, the stage lights came back on, and he looked to the back of the auditorium at the control panel, and nobody was there.
I'm an actress at the Barn Theatre. I've done about 6 productions, spread over a number of years. I've joined in at the end of '98, but with having children and things in between, I've only managed to do about 6 productions.
Do you enjoy working here?
Very much, yes. I wish I could do more, but yeah, it's a lovely atmosphere, it's a lovely theatre. Everybody works really hard, it's a real team effort, and when you're into a show, it's a real family atmosphere, so it's a lovely place to do a production, yeah, very much.
Have you witnessed any hauntings in your time at the Barn Theatre?
Not personally, no. You hear a lot of stories here, and although I've not done that many productions, I've spent a lot of time here socially as well, and you meet a lot of people who've been here a lot of years, and everybody seems to know somebody or has a story of their own. People have spent nights here on their own. I would never do that. I would never want to be in any part of the building on my own, and I would never want to be anywhere with the lights off, definitely.
Do you believe that this sphere is haunted, or do you think it's just a coincidence?
I think there's too many stories for it to be a coincidence.
I have directed productions here. It's a lovely place to work. It's not the kind of place that you want to be alone in, so it's always nice when it's very busy and you've got lots of people around, but there's lots of lovely people here. Now, they say that the back part of the barn is probably the most haunted now. It used to be at the front, but now it's meant to be all at the back in the kitchen and in the green room. There was one particular occasion where I was going to be rehearsing with the youth theatre, but I came in a little bit earlier during the day to have a meeting with the lighting designer, which we were having up at the top half, and I brought my children with me. We came in and we came along, and all through the dark, and all the lights are coming on. And we went up into the bar and sat in there and waited. And as I was talking to the lighting designer, my 2 boys were running around and sort of running into the foyer and running down here and then back towards the auditorium and then back up and stuff. Just busy playing. After a while, Josh, who was 6 at the time, said to me, "Mummy, who's that man down there?" And I said, what man? I took his hand and walked into the foyer and came down to the theatre, but the theatre was all black, so this room where we are now, the auditorium, was all black. There were no lights on, there was absolutely nothing. So we poked our heads in, and there was nobody here. And so I got home and sort of told my story to my husband, of which we both went, oh, because the possibility was there was a man here that 2 people had seen, one who's age 6 and one who's age 18, who don't know each other. Is that just a coincidence, or do you think that is something there?
I've been working here for about 15 years now, and I perform on stage in musicals and plays. I've heard lots of stories, and lots of people have witnessed this and described the same gentleman.
Do you believe the stories that you've heard?
Yes, I've heard it from people that would be the least likely people to, in my opinion, to believe in ghosts. So I totally believe it, and everyone I've spoken to has described this older gentleman almost down to what he's wearing, and the way he points as well.
Do you work in the barn theatre on night duty, or would you be too
No,
scared?
not at all. Too scared. Totally scared. Well, after a show, we had a late night party here when we did Godspell, and all sorts of weird things happened during that show. But we just thought it was the show, to be honest with you. We thought the show was a bit jinxed, but all of the cast stayed over on the last night party. Well, we all said we'd stay over, and I'd say about 50% ended up staying over because most of us chickened out and drove home because we were too scared to.
Now we have spoken to all of the employees and witnesses in the barn theatre, we're going to see if we can experience our own hauntings tonight.